What's up YouTube, it's your man that dude, bringing you guys another video. My last couple of videos have all been about My Hero Academia. I think the first one's about why I believe Deku is a boring protagonist. The one after that was about why I believe Todoroki would make for a better protagonist than Deku. This one is about the character who I believe would be the best protagonist for the show. Like, I believe Todoroki would be a better protagonist than Deku. But the character I think will ultimately make for the best show is, of course, Bakugou. And in my opinion, Bakugou is the most nuanced character in the show. I think Bakugou has the best character arc in the show so far. We get to see Bakugou being the braggadocious, like, bully in the beginning, to where when he's kidnapped, there's a moment where I thought Bakugou would actually turn into being a villain, because at that point in time he was at the height of his frustrations. And so with the chance of maybe becoming a villain and getting revenge on Deku that way, I really thought that's a turn they were going to take in the series. You know, of course, I don't read manga, so I wasn't ahead of the anime. But Bakugou surprised me by rejecting the idea of becoming a villain. Because in Bakugou's heart, he is a hero. Now, he might not be like the most kind person in the world, but he sees himself as a hero. Bakugou idolizes All Might every bit as much as Deku does. It's just that Bakugou was gifted with a pretty cool quirk from birth, and so he wasn't the quintessential underdog that Deku is. So, but me personally, I see Bakugou as not being the underdog as a plus. To me, that makes for a more compelling character, in my opinion. I think the underdog story is so cliche and overdone. We see so many underdog stories that it's kind of overplayed. We see way too many underdog stories. I think we should see more stories of characters who, because I don't think Bakugou has the most powerful quirk. So Bakugou is probably like above average, and when it comes to the strength of his quirk, but the way he utilizes his quirk is he's very, very tactful in the way he uses his quirk, right? So the way he can maneuver in the air, the way he can focus his blast to be make an armor piercing round type thing. I think that was in the last couple episodes when they were making new attacks. That's what Bakugou was able to do. He is very tactful and strategic in the way he uses his quirk, and that allows for him to fight above what his quirk is, above what his abilities are. You know. Like Todoroki, I think Todoroki has, like a really cool quirk, but Todoroki's quirk is like OP as hell. Dude can throw flames, and he can throw ice. He can throw ice, so like his quirk is OP from the beginning. Bakugou's quirk, while strong, it's not overpowered, in my opinion. You know, he sweats nitroglycerin, and it can cause explosion, but it's not like he suffers from those explosions. If he throws out too much, he feels the kickback. So I think Bakugou gives like the perfect baseline for a protagonist, where he starts out strong but not overpowered. And there's a cap on how strong his quirk can be, but there's no cap on how he can use his quirk. Whereas Deku was given the strongest quirk from the very beginning of the series. The first episode, All Might, the strongest hero ever, gives Deku his quirk, One for All, which is the strongest quirk ever, and will only get stronger once passed to Deku. To me, that makes for an inherently less compelling character. Whereas Bakugou, we get to see Bakugou have a strong quirk but not overpowered, develop that quirk, become better at using that quirk, and also Bakugou has the much better character arc. He goes from being the high school bully to being a character who we get to see like his more emotional side. We get to see why he is the way he is. Bakugou was basically, so arrogant because from being a small child, he was told how cool his quirk was, how good his quirk was, and he felt the pressure to live up to that. And to cope with that pressure, he became a bully, basically. Deku was an outlet for him to maintain his superiority. So he could always look at Deku and say, okay, well, Deku's weak. I'm stronger than him, therefore there's my value. And then when Deku became stronger, he was forced to cope with the fact that his whole outlet for his frustrations on the pressures placed upon him by, his friends, his teachers, his parents, and everything. Well, that outlet was no longer there because Deku was now stronger, just as strong, if not stronger than he is. And he had to cope with that, and you get to see how that affects him psychologically. Like he's on the verge of breaking down, and that's when the villains come in and offer him the chance to become a villain. and he still doesn't take it because at his heart he is a hero, and that is what makes Bakugou a great character. Right. So that's why I believe Bakugou would make for the better protagonist. I do believe the story would have more direction to go into, or at least more compelling direction to go into with Bakugou as the main character. With Deku, it's basically, okay, we know he's going to be the strongest hero. Now let's watch him become the strongest hero. Bakugou, we would get to watch him from his perspective, see his childhood friend and person he always thought of as being weak gain the most powerful quirk ever, and we will get to watch him cope with that. And also come to terms with Todoroki. Todoroki has a quirk that's more powerful than Bakugou's, and Bakugou knows that. So we would get to see him be exposed to all these people who have quirks that are more powerful or just as powerful as his, and how he copes with realizing that, he was a big fish in a small pond. Now he's a regular fish in a huge pond, and how he copes with that. And we would get to see that progression through a story, and I do believe that will be a much more compelling character development or character arc than what we will have with Deku. And that is what I believe Bakugou will make for the better main character for the series. Well, that's pretty much all I have, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
All the people saying, get down on it. Come on and